Hello and welcome to graphic.com.gh from the Graphic Online TV newsroom. This is a brief. Suspended Chief Justice CJ Torkornoo has filed a new legal challenge aimed at halting the ongoing impeachment proceedings against her. Justice Torkornoo is seeking a judicial review at the High Court to quash the process, citing violation of the rule of law and natural justice. This is her second legal move after previously petitioning the Supreme Court to allow her waive her right to a private hearing under Article 146 of the Constitution. At the press conference on Wednesday, the suspended Chief Justice accused the impeachment committee, chaired by Justice Quansah, of abandoning due process required of committees of inquiry.
In two allegations, he is complaining that I misappropriated public funds to buy a ticket for my husband and my daughter to travel with me. In answer to this, I handed over my letter of appointment to prove that in my conditions of appointment as Chief Justice, Ghana graciously gave me 2 vacations in a year. In the Judicial Service travel policy, since 2010, the Chief Justice can never travel alone for security reasons. And the Chief Justice is always allowed to travel with a spouse or another person of their choice. So traveling on my officially given vacations with my husband on one occasion and my daughter for the second vacation is part of the official conditions of my appointment as Chief Justice. I was also not responsible for buying the tickets in question, such that I could be said to have misappropriated the value of the tickets. Indeed, if the Judicial Service was not allowed to buy the tickets for my vacation, the remedy was for the Auditor General to surcharge me to refund the money. Anyone can check out the 2023 accounts of Judicial Service and know for themselves that there is no surcharge against me or anyone for the tickets that were purchased for my vacations. Ms. Ofori seems to be alleging that I should have traveled with my police escort alone on vacation and not a family member. And this is why he wants me removed from office. And I'm being tried or held behind the walls of Edu Lodge. Ladies and gentlemen, the question to be asked is, why would anyone demand that I go on vacation given to me as Chief Justice with my police security, instead of going with my husband or my daughter? And how can this be a reason for subjecting a Chief Justice to a committee of inquiry? In the petition I received, Mr. Ofori also complains that my family members should not have been given per diem when they traveled with me, and I have misappropriated the per diem they were given. But anyone reading the Judicial Service travel policy will find that it provides that when the Chief Justice travels with anyone, whether police escort, another judge, secretary, or a spouse, that person is given per diem. And the rate of per diem is not set or administered by me as Chief Justice. It is regulated and administered by the Finance Directorate and the Judicial Secretary.
Meanwhile, nurses and midwives say patience is wearing thin after Parliament postponed the crucial meeting on their labor demands. The Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association has expressed strong disappointment over the unilateral rescheduling of a meeting with Parliament's Select Committee on Health. Originally set for June 26th, the meeting will now take place on July 10th, according to the letter from Parliamentary Services, citing the unavailability of key stakeholders. The GRNMA leadership said the decision could derail the goodwill that led them to suspend the nation strike earlier this month. Despite the setback, the association said, "We will continue to trust the process, but warned that failure to implement agreed items by the end of July will trigger renewed action." The GRNMA also demanded that the timelines be clearly defined and signed at the scheduled meeting.
The National Council of the Association at its meeting held on 25th June 2025 deliberated extensively on the content of the letter and wishes to state as follows. 1. The strike was suspended in good faith, and we expect nothing less than a reciprocity of same. The rescheduling of the meeting, in our view, is in bad faith, since it may further delay the implementation of the agreed items. We have, however, decided to give the committee the benefit of hindsight and still trust that their engagement with the Ministries of Health and Finance will be productive. Number 2, we demand the implementation of the 4 agreed items not later than July 2025. This is non-negotiable, and we shall advise ourselves if any attempt is made to further delay the implementation. 3, with the other items, we wish to reiterate our position that we are amenable to their implementation no later than January 2026. 4, we demand that these timelines are clearly captured and signed off at the 10th July 2025 meeting to avoid any ambiguity in the implementation schedule. 5, we wish to express our sincerest appreciation to the nursing and midwifery fraternity for the deep sense of solidarity during this whole period of fighting for what is rightfully ours.
And at the University of Ghana, lectures are continuing despite a new wave of COVID-19 infections among students. While all social gatherings on campus have been suspended, the Dean of Student Affairs, Professor Rosina Trematin, says academic lectures are not affected. Speaking on CTFM's Breakfast Show, she explained that the structure of lectures poses a much lower risk of transmission than events such as concerts or Hall Week celebration. Lectures are not social gatherings, she said. In a lecture room, students are seated and listening, not shouting or jumping. She added that students will be required to wear face masks and maintain social distancing where possible. The university-wide directive issued on June 25th applies to all student-organized events, including those by the SRC, GRASAC, JCRs, and departmental associations. Finally, the Sports Writers Association of Ghana, SWAG, has announced the passing of its former president, Ebo Quansah, who served as the association's 5th leader from 2001 to 2007. The veteran sports journalist and stalwart of SWAG died on June 26, 2025, leaving behind a legacy of dedication to sport journalism in Ghana. In a statement, SWAG described Mr. Quansah as a committed member who rose through the ranks, holding key positions including Deputy Secretary and Secretary General before ascending to the presidency. His death comes days after the passing of Mr. Aka Anthony, the 6th president of SWAG. Thank you for watching. Kindly follow us on our website graphic.com.gh. Our social media handles are Graphic Online Ghana on TikTok, Daily Graphic Ghana on Facebook and Instagram, Graphic GH on YouTube and X. My name is Erabna Koba.